What's up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. This is Track Fans TV, but it's not Track Fans because Pete's gone. I don't know where he is. I heard he got kidnapped by someone. I have no idea. But Nico, that Slocka dude, and I, Raul from Conquest Racing Club, we're here in this place because, we always come to rescue for Pete. He needed us, so we decided to jump in. I hope all you are doing well. Let's go through the chat, see who's there. Nico, call him out. See, I think I see Bo here. So Bo from Germany. How are you, Bo? Nico, who else do you see?
I see, of course, the fingers. No live stream without the fingers. Hey there, how you doing? Good to have you on board.
Yeah, for sure. The fingers, nice to have you here. You guys have had a long chat going, so I'm sorry I cannot catch up with that conversation. But hello, Jeff G. How are you? How's things going? Thank you for being here.
Then there's Matt Dad. Welcome on the live chat.
Hey, and then we have Rise Thomas. Thank you so much for being here, man.
John D, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that.
Yeah, we have 132 slot cars from Latvia. The Irishman who lives in Latvia. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
And only drinks tea, no alcohol. Can you believe that? An Irishman in Latvia drinking tea. I think we need to check that out.
What was the first? I don't know who this Track Fans guy is, but he's here too.
Must be some fake or spam or something,
Yeah, I think it's kidnappers, but we'll talk to them later. Slocka Daddy's in the house. How are you?
Fernando, hey, good to have you on board. Of course, there is again the King of Shorts as well, Rob Hill, to the King of Shorts.
What's up, Rob? Thank you for joining us this morning. It's not Pete. We're not super excited. We're not gonna be yelling and screaming into the mic. At least I'm not. Maybe Nico will. I don't know.
Track Fans.
Yeah, Track Fans. Yeah. So thank you all for being here. I know Pete's on his way to Gaydon for the UK Slock Winterfest, I believe.
Yep.
We wish him nothing but good hunting. And if you find something cool, Pete, pick it up too for me. Don't forget about me. But that's cool. And let's see. Hey,
there's also Doug from Magnetic Racing who just jumped in. I think they're on the way as well in the car on the way to Gaydon.
Hey, yeah, it's cool. Thanks a lot for jumping in, Doug. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, they're also en route to the festival. So I think a lot of regulars that will be heading up there. So, but we'll try and keep you entertained here. If nothing else, we'll try and entertain ourselves anyway. So, Nico, how's it been, man? How's your week going? What you been doing in the hobby? What you been up to? Let me know.
Busy all week, mostly work, not so much time for the hobby, unfortunately. I'm way behind my personal schedule, but that's just the fun part of it, so to say. I finished my Pioneer video, finally. The non-mag track test, so to say, will be out this evening, European time. It's already on my channel scheduled. Yeah, and that was about it, unfortunately. No club meeting, no going to the track, just work, earning money to order more slot cards, of course.
Of course. So talk to me a bit about your club schedule. Do you go on a regular basis? What's your peak season? When's your downtime? Give us a general outline of that.
Okay. Well, usually we meet on Thursday evenings. And we try and go to different tracks because we've got like 4 to 5 tracks in the area. So we try to go to different tracks each week. If it doesn't work out, we'll just meet at our own club track. the peak season is, of course, during winter time.
Right.
And then during summertime is the downtime, so to say. But we try to keep people interested with different club races, different series, and also those driver classes that we have where just the car stays in lane and you don't need to bring anything because we'll provide the controller, we'll provide the car stays in lane, and it all comes down to the driver in the end, which is very popular.
Hey, look, it's Dave. Slot R is in the house. Thanks for jumping in, Dave. How's Roman doing? We'll give the young track fans a shout out in a second or so, but we'll just catch up first with what's going on. So, like you said, so it's right now it's your peak season, winter. But are you guys on a holiday break or something, or do you break for the holidays?
No, even during holiday break, they came up with an extra series because people are on holiday, so they've got time to spend.
Yeah,
I can't join in that one, but yes, there's even our own race series for the time shortly before Christmas, in between Christmas, New Year, and then shortly after New Year, they're doing a few races. Yeah. But what about you, Rahul?
Honestly, dude, I wish. Honestly, I wish there was more tracks around, like open tracks where I could go. Right now, the only track I know is Ernie's track, and they run races on days that I can't really go because either I have like family commitments with my daughter, or I have like the race nights on the weeknights. And I'm right now in school. I'm taking 4 courses. I'm working full time. I try and fit the YouTube wherever I can. So it's kind of very difficult for me to get out. But the last weekend I went out with MP and we went down to Sarnia and we were racing. And not racing to your level, but racing. Racing is racing. I think it doesn't matter what level it is, as long as you put a car on the track and you're running a controller and you're competing with other people. I think it's fun, right? It's racing.
Yeah.
So I got to do a little bit of that. Hey, what's up? Show me slot cars. Thanks for being here. Great to have you here. Thanks, bud. And so I got out there. We did some racing, and then this week I had promised about doing the upgrades to the green Porsche, the Monster that I call it. So I got to get that out of the way as well. Got it done, and so I like to tinker with the cars. I think that's another reason that I want to do that more next year. And my collection has passed over the 500 mark, which is surprising because last year when I started in January, I only had like 37 cars. So it's just blows my mind that I have over about 460 cars in over a year. So in about 2 years, like I've grown it that fast. Yeah. But it's good. Like everything is good. And now I've got back into the go. Like I was talking to you about my Carrera Go collection. And then I was watching like Shen RC, which is Steve and Cheryl. They do their racing, brother and sister racing, and they've been throwing their go cars on the track, and it's been a blast watching that. So I picked up a couple of go cars as well, more. So I think it's a great time for me too. I've also come to a point where I realize what I want from my channel, where I'm at, and what I want to do with it. So I think it's important for that to happen, because sometimes, like I said to you, you kind of get lost, and that's the journey in YouTube, right? You have the ups and downs, you have your peaks and your valleys, and you always, for myself, I always find myself second guessing myself sometimes, whatever, but you work through it, so it's great. Hey, this Pat Baker's in the house. Hey, it looks good.
We also got the Spanish visitor from Pixels Ibax. Hola.
And there's Paul Shop here as well.
And there's Paul.
How are you, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's me in a nutshell.
Should we go for the youngsters, Pete and Rahul?
Yeah, why not? Let's go shout out the youngsters, the young crack fans, as Pete would say.
Oh, yeah.
So the young crack fans, I'll call out the first name, Albert, and you can do the second one.
Cameron.
And Charlotte.
Cameron. Yeah, there's George.
George. Then there's Jacob.
Hi there, Louis.
Yeah. Then we got Wilf. So Albert and Wilf, they are Pete's nephews, I believe. So special shout out to Wilf. We love Wilf. Keep on going.
There's Ruben. Ruben, I will challenge you coming May on the drag strip.
There
you can
go,
already
Ruben.
sign me in for one of the races.
Nice. Hey, there's Pete's mom is in the chat as well. Gail, hello. And then we have Isabella.
Hi there. Good to have Leighton. Hi, Leighton. How you doing?
Yeah, and then the myth, the legend, Sasha from DNA. Always a pleasure to watch you.
Oh yes, always. We still got one thing missing, Sasha, but we're up to it. Then there's Elliot, of course.
Yeah, and then we have Leo. And
oh yes, Leo, can't wait. Sorry to interrupt you. Can't wait for your HO unboxing to come up. I think there is something in the making. Sorry.
Yeah, no need to say sorry. And then the last but not least, and the most recent addition to the Slot Car family is Rowan Slot R Jr. We love the picture you did with the controller and the car. Slot R, yes. Welcome to the family, Slot R Jr. Rowan. And thanks for all being here, and thanks for picking up a controller and racing those cars, guys and girls. We enjoy it. We need more of you to come onto the hobby, and welcome aboard. And if you ever need any advice or we can do anything to help, just reach out to us. We're always here, ready to go.
Right. Send an email, drop a line, anything. Just contact us. We're more than happy to help.
100%. All right. Well, I wish my mom watched my videos. She does love racing on the track when she's in town, though. I wish my mom loved watching my videos. She just thinks I'm playing with toys, and she always shakes her head when she sees my collection. So, yeah, I wish my mom would just stop shaking her head at my collection. That's what I would wish for. Hey, Andy and Ruben are in the house. What's up, Andy?
Hey,
I think this is Andy. I don't know if Ruben's up, but thanks for being here, guys. And Pete approves. She's too. Oh, she's good. Here we go. Pete's keeping an eye on us. Yeah. So anyway, so what we wanted to talk about today, and this has been something that's been happening across the board in North America and probably in Europe as well, is finally the join together of all scales, right? Because for the longest time, especially in North America, there's been a great divide between the HO scale, or as Pete would say, the head office scale, because he doesn't know about HO, but that's a 1/64th scale and the rest, right? And yep. I bring that down to the fact that they're very different, like in terms of chassis wise, or at least to the perception on the outside, is they're very different. Just like for them to us, like I've talked to a lot of them, like SVR and a lot of them, and also 132 is very foreign to them, even though in reality it's pretty much the same thing. It's can motor, a gear, a pinion, except everything's different sizes, right? So we thought that, since Nico, you started with HO, or a lot about HO from the European perspective. No? No. In fact, you sent me these
just pretending, two. Okay.
Yeah, you sent me these two HO slot cars.
Right.
Very, very early on, when I didn't even have an HO track. And so, and I still have never run them, to be quite fair. I just realized they already have brushes on them, as opposed to the shoes that the ones you get in North America have. So
Yeah.
I was like, it's the first time I'm looking at that. So so I just realized that I could actually run these on my track. But
I never tried, to be honest. Well, the
really,
2 cars I sent, or let me start one step back. I jumped
go.
into HO during the pandemic crisis. I had a basement, I had a space, not too much. I couldn't fit in a Carrera track or any other 32 or 24 size track. So I thought, well, I've got the space, I want a track. So I got myself an AFX 4-lane track. Did the setup myself, not too big. No, Dave, you're not.
Yeah,
Look
exactly.
at me. I've got the oldest face in this round, okay? And I manage, so you can as well. No, and during the pandemic, and then I had this 4-lane track with 4 power supplies, even so power supply for each lane, and set up to use the controllers I use with 32 and 24 cars as well. So I can use those controllers there as well. And then even that became boring because the pandemic went on. So I built myself a HO drag strip, and got myself a timing system from the US.
Yeah.
Where you can like time everything like on the big real races, like reaction time and so on. And you can even set up a bracket race, which means you can drive a faster car against a slower car.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean?
Yeah, I did 1-to-1 drag racing for a very long time.
Okay. So so you can set up all those things there. Plus, of course, it's a 2-lane and it's got a power supply for each lane with 10 amps there, up to 30 volts. Rumors say that if I switch that on, the street lights start to flicker, but nobody really.
Nobody's complained yet. Okay.
Nobody complained yet. It's just the street lights start to flicker, and I think when I switch.
Is that because you invite the whole neighborhood over when you run it?
I've got the whole kids in my basement queuing up.
Yeah, exactly.
So yes, but actually I come out of the 1 to 32 and 1 to 24 side of stock cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the HOs things, right? So when you decided to get into HO, first of all, you said, okay, you were already racing 132, 124, and the pandemic hit, and you wanted to put a track up in your house, and I guess space was a restriction, and HO was the way to go. Yeah. So when you decided to go HO, what was your first thing that you started to look up? Like, because that's the one thing that I'm struggling with right now. Like, it was easy for me to go pick up a set, but like I said to you, I picked up my set 8 months ago, and it was just to have, because I've never even opened the box. I just know I have it. It's there. I have a 4-lane HO set in my basement. But where did you start?
Yeah. Well, besides size, which means I could fit in a 4-lane track in my basement, it was also the fact that if you use a Tyco track or an AFX track or a Viper track, doesn't matter, you can put on any HO car that you like. So there is no, how do you say, like with the digital things, you need a chip, otherwise it wouldn't work on a Carrera chip, otherwise it wouldn't work on Carrera.
Yeah.
Hi, Michael.
So there's Michael here, and guess who else dropped in? Let's just say hi to Down Under.
The man from Down Under.
Yeah. Look at him. Is he at the gym? He always at the gym. No, not anymore.
I guess pumping iron, yeah, as Pete says.
Iron. That's his thing, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's another guy who should be talking about HO more, because he's got a car coming out. So anyway, continue. Sorry about that.
So you can use any brand of car on an AFX track. Sorry, guys. And that's what really got me into it. So I started to buy cars. Yeah, we know you come from a land from Down Under.
Hey, Albert, how are you? Thanks for being here.
Hi, Albert. So yes, this what got me into it: space and the possibility of driving older T-Jet cars,
Okay.
on the track.
Okay, so let's go back. So what did you buy first? Like which set did you buy first, and what prompted you to buy that set?
Okay, I got the AFX International. I think it's called International,
exactly
isn't it?
the same thing I got.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I looked into the internet, got myself what do you call it? A planning software for the track that would do AFX, and set up a track 4-lane and just added the track parts that I still needed or was looking for, bought them and started building right away.
Okay, so when you say you started, so you started building a track. So you got your track, you have your 4 Indy cars that come in that, or Formula One cars that come in that track, and then you started to expand your collection. So how many 1/64th scale cars do you have right now?
I feared that question already.
Come on, don't be shy now.
200 plus.
200 plus. So yeah, this is where I wanted to get in there, because I was like, so you have the 4 F1 cars, you have your track now. What makes you start collecting all these HO cars? And I'm not going to call them HO cars. I'm going to call them 1/64 cars moving forward. So what made you start collecting?
The thing is, I didn't start like a typical collector saying I'm hunting a brand, or I'm hunting a brand of car, like, I don't know, a Chevrolet or a Corvette or anything. I just collected and bought what I like. When I see it, I like it, I buy it, if possible, and if it's in the range, in my budget. So yes, and it got out of range. I mean, in the end I started doing my own resin bodies, because I found a body that is quite rare and it was in good shape, and I've got a buddy that can actually do doing the molds, So I started to do my own reproduction bodies.
Okay, so here's another question now. You came from 132 and 124 scale. You come down to 1/64th. They're a lot quicker. They're a lot more magnet dependent, right?
Yes.
That changes your style of driving, right?
There's a but. Yes.
Go ahead.
Totally
That's what
agree.
I'm getting to. Like,
sorry.
So tell me the but.
It changes the way of driving, of course, if you have a lot of magnetic downforce, but you can set up HO cars by removing the traction magnets and add in weight to behave more like a 32 or a 24 car, which then is good for me again, because that's the area I come from. So there is not so much traction. And if you add then silicone tires, like the ones that your cars have on already, Rahul, that I sent to you, you can make up a little bit of the missing traction again. So yes, it's different. It got me focused.
Yeah, this is the one car that Nico sent me. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a McLaren. It has upgraded tires and whatever else. It's got brushes too, which was kind of cool, because the ones that you get out of the box have shoes.
Well, those are Microskeletrics, and they never had shoes. They always had braids.
Oh, they always had braids.
Yes.
So excuse my ignorance when it comes to this scale, because I'm still learning. Yeah, so really good.
Yeah.
So keep on going. Let's talk more about how your driving has improved, and what do you think is the benefits of learning how to drive 1/64th, and at what point do you think there's any
yeah
so do you think there's
it's just a different way of driving, and it's a different way of driving, and to try and adopt your way of driving helped me, because when you get to race a car, if you're racing in a team, for example, if you race like 12-hour races or 24-hour races, which I used to race a lot in the past on European level, you come to a track you don't know, and you get a car you don't know.
Right.
So you have to adapt as quick as possible to the car and to the track, which means it just helps you. It's helped me get new impressions and adapting my way of driving to new cars, new setups, and things like that. It was just a practice thing to me. But what caught me most was the drag racing, because during the pandemic, I then participated in proxy races, which means you build a car to a regulation, you send it off to a guy. And usually proxy races, I don't like too much if they're on a road track, because you build the car to your personal likes and give it to someone else, and he needs to drive it, which, yeah. But if you do that for a drag race, it's just on and off. There's no way, or there's no need to adapt the driving style. It just needs to be fast. So that's what got me in the end. And I participated in UK proxy races and even in the US, in the Green Bay area. So, yeah.
Very nice.
A lot of fun.
Let's jump to this topic quickly here.
Sure.
They're talking about advent calendars.
Oh, yeah.
So Slot R advent calendar is a big deal in my house. This show me slot cars. My 6-year-old has Lego calendar and Bluey calendar. Do you have an advent calendar right now, Nico? Do you have them in your household?
My wife got me one with white chocolate. I'm an addict on white chocolate. Okay,
I see.
That's why the camera stops here.
Yeah. Anyway, so talking about advent calendars.
Okay.
I didn't have one, but everyone's releasing one. So I don't know. The Slot Vengers, DNA has his. Slot R has his. I was kind of feeling left out, so I decided I'll go check out what they have. And there's so many advent calendars to choose from. But there's one that really caught my attention, and it's the Porsche Advent Calendar. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but basically it's 24 days, and you open up each day, and it gives you a piece that eventually you put together a big model, a Porsche model. And I thought that was a cool Advent calendar. So yeah, I've been looking at Advent calendars recently. Thanks to Slot R for doing that to me, and for DNA Slot Cars as well for doing that to me. I appreciate that, guys. I needed more places to spend my money, but thank you once again. Yeah,
Dave, that's on you. Coffee.
there you go. All right. So you've done your slot cars, you got into HO, you got up to 200 cars, you built some HO cars. Let's jump to 143rd. Do you know much about 143rd scale?
To be honest, it's this size that got me back into slot car racing after, I don't know, hundreds of years.
Okay.
Because my wife gave it to me on Christmas, and it just was set up in the living room, and I just drove till the cars were ruined, like really blown to pieces, so to say.
So I'm going to ask you a question here. 143rd, do you like the loops? Do you like the bank corners? So you don't like any of that?
I'm a road racer, okay? Bank corners, yes, maybe. I mean, watching NASCAR races, and there are a few road tracks that have slightly bent corners, but basically no. I hate the loops, to be honest. Sorry, personal likes.
Yeah, well, Mad Dad just piqued my attention. Carrera has an advent calendar, 1/24th scale slot car. It looks really nice. Where is this? I need to find this like badly. Mad Dog, what have you done?
Drop a link? Yeah, right.
Yeah, drop us a link or let us know, because Carrera might take my money again. There you go. All right, so you don't like the loops and you don't like the high banks. You just like the road course.
Exactly.
Do you like the intersections? Anything? No.
Nope.
So this is where I'm very different from you, because here's where the creativity and the videography comes into play. Because for me, when I wanted to do my Halloween special, the only track I could think of was my 143rd track. because it has the loops, it has the double loops, it has the high banks. It's just exciting. And because I don't take it seriously, I take my 1/43 scale to be fun, and I wanted to do wacky things and do cool light streak videos. So that's where I have a lot more fun with my 1/43 because I don't take it too seriously. I'm not afraid of damaging the cars, even though the cars are super detailed at 1/43, right? This is a digital one too. This is when Carrera was making the digital ones. So this is a digital 1/43. And then, you know, they just keep on getting better and better. And the more recent ones are even more detailed than they were before, right? And then they do the Hot Wheels, you know, crossovers as well, right? So I just love 1/43, and like I said to you, Nico, I have probably a very large 1/43 collection. My Carrera Go is very big, and they have the rally sections, they have the ice sections, they have all these really cool sections, and they have like switchable tracks. I don't know if you know this, but they have the split. You can switch the track always by hand, but what you can do is you can do one circuit and you can switch it so it does another circuit. There's some really interesting things with Go that really caught my attention, and it brings a lot of fun factor. And I think this is why Carrera is doing so well, because the Go series allows you to be very creative in a smaller amount of space than their big track, obviously, because space is always a restriction when it comes to slot cars. And then the cars are pretty fast, and they need to go through the loops and everything else. So, and it makes a big challenge for shooting videos, because when I shoot 1/32 cars, I can slow the cars down and take my shots. But 1/43, there's no slowing down, because if you slow them down, they don't make the loop, right? So when I shot the Halloween special, it was very challenging, and that's why I think for me it's more exciting to have my 1/43 track up, because I'm like, I want to do better. Because my first shots on the Halloween were not good. I don't think the video is good. I want to redo it. I want to do it better. So it's just piqued my interest at another level. So right now, 1/43 has kind of got me, like, gripped me because of the challenge that it presents.
But now we're right at the point where I think we wanted to get to, which is the crossover of scales, meaning you have personal likes, I have personal likes, but there is no, it still fits together, because I think where we all come together is show us a track, no matter what size doesn't matter in this, in this topic. Show us a track, give us a controller, point the car to us, and we'll just go.
And we'll exactly. And that's why I think it's now the slot car hobby is more than united, more than ever, because now it's about slot cars. Doesn't matter about the track, doesn't matter about, because the cars are detail level, even on the Echo cars, is fantastic.
Exactly.
Like I've seen some of the Echo level cars, and the detail level is fantastic. Look at Travis's latest car. The detail level on that car is super well done.
Yes.
The Carrera Go cars, they're super well done. The 1/32 cars, I mean, I have 500 to choose from. They're super well done, right? And then the 1/24s are the ultimate, like, you know, to me, they're works of art, especially like the BRMs, like they're works of art. So at the end of the day, if you're a car fanatic or a car lover, it's great because you have so much choice and so much scale.
You get lost.
Yeah. and then if you're a racer, you have so much choice, so much scale, and so much skill differences to practice on, you know. So I think it's just wonderful when we look at it as a whole.
And the one thing that I'm missing, because you mentioned Carrera, is they should go back into HO, because they used to produce, I think it was in the 70s, they had their 160 scale, where they tried to do HO as well. I have two sets of cars and a lot of bodies from them. That's one thing I collected. And yeah, maybe, you know, and also like the servo. Do you know about the Carrera servo track?
No, I don't. The one where you can transfer, you can
exactly. It was before
Yeah.
digital came on, where you change lanes.
Yeah.
Those are a lot of fun to drive as well. And they
Yeah.
had it in 1 to 64 and even 1 to 32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because when we think about it from the RC world, you have the Mini Zs, which is almost it's a 1/24th scale car, 1/28th scale
28.
car,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you think about that, that's almost borderline coming down to slot car level because the cars are almost the same, and you control them through RC. So I think that's what got me back into RC racing was when I saw the Mini Zs. Because the one thing that I didn't like about RC cars was the Lexan bodies that didn't have detail,
Yeah.
right? It's a very soft Lexan body and no hard plastic on it, right? Let's go.
I do not agree anymore. Basically, in the past, I do agree, but there are guys out there like the Italian Nono Slot, who's got brilliant Lexan bodies out already.
Yeah, but like when I'm talking about,
he's sticking to Lexan.
Yeah, well, 2005, right? When 2005, this wasn't the detail level wasn't there as it is today. Today, when you look at RC cars, you're blown away. Like, you know, and that's a testament to new technology, really well developed manufacturing capabilities. There's a lot of 3D scanning that's available now that can help you in molding and creating your mold. So the manufacturing has stepped up in such a level that you can start doing very complex things. And that's what we're seeing in the world, not only of slot cars, but in general with toys. They're becoming more and more realistic if they're supposed to be, right? I mean, look at Lego, for instance. I mean, the stuff that you're seeing coming out of Lego and building bricks is pretty incredible as well. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Let's look at the chat here and see if we're missing anything. Pete is obviously checking in on us. He's making sure that we're staying on point. Thank you very much, Pete. Let's see. Carrera Silvos. Bo got a kick out of that one. There you go. So yeah, I think everyone's kind of like either listening to us or tuned us out by now, but doesn't matter. We're going to continue. So yeah, talking about the detail level, I mean, when I didn't even have an inkling of what Echo was, but when I saw this car on the peg, I had to pick it up. I had no track, I had nothing. This car was so detailed that I was just blown away at the size and the detail. And you know, that's just a testament to like what we're saying right now. The detail level on these cars is just phenomenal, right?
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
So let's talk about now your scratch building and what you're doing in terms of
because you mentioned it before, the 1 to 24. The 1 to 24s I drive is either the mini set bodies that you already mentioned, which means we take the bodies and put them on a chassis, or we take model kits or even bodies that are made out of fiberglass and put them on chassis. So
so let's talk about the fiberglass bodies, for instance. I know that you sent me a couple of links before because I've been talking about, and you sent me like 917 links to just fiberglass bodies and stuff. So let's talk about that because I haven't seen fiberglass bodies up here in North America that much, but in Europe.
Well, the positive thing is they're very durable. I mean, you can crash them really hard. They're easy to fix. And they're still very light. So you can like order them down to nearly only Lexan weight, so to say.
Okay.
Which means you have a light body, looking good, being durable, being able to race fast.
Okay. Oh, that's very interesting. And then what kind of chassis are you guys putting on them? Are you using the custom-made chassis or?
No, mostly nuts and bolts chassis.
Okay.
So yeah, there are different producers out there. It's like Plafit, or there used to be a German one called Momo, but they don't produce any longer. There also used to be quite a good Austrian one, but it's out of production. Yeah, it's like the Plafit ones, or even the Scale Auto ones. Yeah, so those are the chassis we're using, and there are shops in Germany that
like
offer
these Scale Auto ones.
Exactly.
These are very, very. They call them Meccano ones, or like these are really good for adaptability. I think to any sort of body. Yeah. These are. I actually love racing these cars. They have a lot of. They feel very planted, and they have no magnets, but the chassis is so heavy enough that you get that weight on the track that gives you some really good traction.
Yeah. And if you use like polyurethane tires or foam tires on those chassis, you can really race them hard. So yeah, that's what we do. So we try to come up with classes that are either popular with the guys here, depending on the age. Not being too young on my side, but not depending on the age, and cars that maybe most of us saw on TV or even in real life on the track, like the DTM cars or Group 5 cars, or I don't know. Before Group 5, there was a series called DRM. It means German racing. I can't translate it anymore. Sorry, guys. Deutsche Rennsportmeisterschaft. It was the pre-class of DTM, the very young pre-class of DTM, where you had those 3-liter Capris against the Porsches. So many of us saw that in real life as a kid on track. So we want to rebuild those cars.
Yeah, I was just reading this. Let's see, this one. 132 cars says Pete's in the back of a policeman right now. He's very quiet. Either that or we've put him to sleep. That's probably one of the two issues here.
One of the two, yeah.
Oh yeah, so this is pretty cool because Show Me Slot Cars just printed a whole bunch of stuff for his track. He's a 3D printing. And that's another technology that has really accelerated of late.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
3D printing has come a long way from when I first used to do film and printing to what we have today. It's getting really rad and really quick. Like some of the printers are really fast now. So pretty cool to see all the capabilities that it introduces to just not only our hobbies, but hobbies in general. So it's pretty cool to see.
Maybe a small step back, sorry, Rahul, a small step back on the HO topic, because you also get the guys from Hot Wheels, the Hot Wheels collectors, into HO racing as well. So there's a massive community in Asia, for example, on JDM cars, on collecting Hot Wheels, doing dioramas in 1/64. So there's a massive, exactly.
This is the most recent Hot Wheels promotion with Carrera Go, right? These are the Bone Shakers. Amazing cars, can't get them in 132.
So talking about merging the community or dropping down borders, you also have to think of the Hot Wheel guys, you know, that do their races, their drag races on the old Hot Wheel tracks. I don't know whether you know them. Those small orange Hot Wheel tracks. And they even got timing systems for that. So
yeah, well, 3D Bot Maker is one of the biggest channels I know, and they do all just Hot Wheel racing. And it's amazing, and it's a lot of fun because the commentary is fun. See, I tried to do that with slot cars, but they move so fast. By the time you comment, it's already over. Whereas when you use gravity-fed cars that move with gravity, it's much easier. You have more time. But yeah, definitely some really exciting stuff from the HO perspective in terms of the crossover between Matchbox and Hot Wheels and all these things. So
exactly.
Yeah, I think like That's Lockout Guy and DeLeon, they have their own Hot Wheels channel. So if you guys are into that stuff, definitely hit them up. I think it's that Toy Hunter, Toy Hunter guy. That's Lockout Guy's other channel, and DeLeon has Garage of, I think it's DeLeon Garage. of hobbies or something. But check them out. They also have really cool channels, and I think DeLeon has over 6,000 or 7,000 cars, Hot Wheels cars in this collection, or something crazy like that. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lots of people have a crossover with the Hot Wheels stuff.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah. So,
So
go ahead, Nico.
yeah. Well, if you another thing, because I'm talking about 1 to 32, I was racing a lot of 1 to 32 in the past, especially digital. Before the big companies or jumped on digital or came out with the first prototypes, there was already a French system out called Davic, DAVIC, because two guys, David and Victor, were actually producing this. And if you look on my channel, one of the very first videos out of 2004 with a very old video camera, digital video camera, actually shows one of those races. And they organized races all over Europe to set up a European championship, because what you could do is they just took their intersections with a lane changing system, and you could plug it into normal standard tracks like Carrera track. Okay.
Just don't blush too much, dude. Your wife might not understand why you're blushing so much, but anyway.
So yes, those were the beginnings of digital racing, and I mean the biggest track I raced on was 70 meters. So one lap was 70 meters long. So we needed a massive area to come up and set up the track, and even a podium for the drivers to race on. But in those days, it was possible for 15 racers to race their cars at the same time, which is another dimension of racing. It just blows your mind.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So let's go back to digital racing, and something that has been a lot of the North American 1/64 guys are saying they want digital to come to Echo, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is where I see there being a problem, because I would love to have every system to be having
Digital.
crossing lanes and digital.
Yeah.
But here's the issue. Echo cars move so fast, right? By the time the sensor read the car to the moment that it decides to do the switch, I think the car would have passed the crossover, unless you make the crossover really long, right? If you make the crossing lane much longer than it has to be, because by the time the sensor reads and sends the signal to that lane change, I think with Echo cars you're going to have an issue, because they just move so fast that they'll miss the change lanes, right? Gotcha. So this is why I say that there's, as much as the people would like to have a digital system for Echo, I think to engineer one would be a lot harder than it would be for 1/32 scale, because I think they got the 1/32 pretty much down. But even in Carrera Go, they had issues. I mean, I think that's the reason why they stopped the digital system for Carrera Go. Right.
Yeah, but I think it's also a space question in the chassis.
Right.
I mean, the electronics do get smaller every month, so to say.
Yeah.
But I think it is still an issue on HO cars, because who just mentioned it? It's even hard to fiddle in the motor, so there's no space for anything else left in there. Plus, I fully agree on you with the lane changing system. We already killed in this old system that I just described. We killed 1 to 32 cars a lot, just because the lane changing just cut off the guides. It just broke the guides completely, or broke the chassis, because it needs to be so quick.
Yeah.
So if the car gets in that slot in the wrong spot and the lane changer hits in, you're done.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's so much. The upside is is the downside is outweighs the upside to a digital system at
Yeah.
actual level.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people are saying, "Oh, we want digital," and I keep on thinking to myself, being an engineer, I always think like we struggle even with videography. We struggle with something called latency, right? Like the
Yeah.
delay between the signal and the actual action. There is a delay, and as much as we've
Yeah.
done so much to improve that, at that speed, I mean, if you look at it just from an AI perspective on servers trying to track cameras, trying to track cars, we can't even track a 132nd car properly with the AI tracking right now
Yep.
because it moves too fast. The servers are not fast enough. So if we can't
Yeah.
do that, at your level gets even crazier, right? Like yeah, it's something I wanted to discuss with you because obviously you have some experience in that, Joe, and you have experience with digital. I know how everything works. And I wanted to get your perspective on it for sure.
I think there's still a long way to go. Yeah. To
Yeah.
fix that. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, anybody in the chat have any questions for Nico or myself? Feel free to ask them. I know we're just talking about general stuff. We're talking about slot cars at all scales. We don't really have like a lot of insight on what we're doing at this show. We're just here to be part of the show, make sure that everyone gets their Track Fans TV fix, even though Pete's not here and he does a much better job at this than we do. But we're trying to whatever questions you have would be greatly appreciated, and we can definitely look at answering them. And then just wanted to throw that out there.
The really important topics like, is there life on Mars, or we'll do our best in answering.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Nico will answer. I'll pay attention.
No.
So, Nico, now I'm going to ask you some hard questions.
Ooh.
Yeah. What's your favorite 132nd brand, if you have one?
Ooh, that's a hard one, man. You're killing me now. You know that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, the good thing about this is I get to ask the question. So,
I'm really struggling. I mean, there are so many good brands out there. It depends on what do you want. You want to have a good-looking car for fun. You want to have a race car. You want to fiddle a lot. You don't want to fiddle a lot.
I want the answers to all of them, Nico. Start at the top and work yourself down.
The guys are gonna fall asleep, and we'll still be on.
Oh, I don't think they're falling asleep. How many of you in the chat want to know what Nico's ranking is? Let's go. Let's see. If you're in the chat and you want to know what Nico's ranking is, give us yes. And if the more yeses we get, the more Nico has to answer. Let's do this. Come on, chat. I need your help.
The signal on my Wi-Fi is flickering already.
Oh, really?
I think the broadcast is breaking down.
How convenient. There you go. We got
Thank
one
you,
yes.
Andy and Ruben.
Yes.
Thank you.
So there are people listening to us. We're not alone. Oh, God. That's well, show me can't do it twice, dude. I think he's trying to stack the stats here.
Okay.
All right. So we got 2 yeses.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, I don't want to give a ranking because again they're all catching up and they're all improving. And if I look back in time,
Nico, you don't have to be politically correct here. You just do it your way. We're not holding anyone to this.
You know me too well, Rahul, already.
Yeah,
you know me
let's
too
do
well.
this.
I was trying to escape,
No escaping. Let's do this. Let's start at the top. So the cars that look the best at 132nd scale. Oh.
Carrera equal with Pioneer.
Carrera equal with Pioneer. Very cool. All right. Next level is the car that you like to tinker with the most. 132nd scale.
NSR.
Okay. The one brand that you think needs to do more work to get better.
G-Slot. Because they're not on the market anymore.
Very smart.
They need to do better.
Yeah. All right. We could say Ninko as well there too.
Right.
What was the other one that you said?
I'll turn it round now.
Oh,
Rahul,
yes.
what is
I don't
your
know.
favorite 1 to 32 brand?
Well, the chat didn't say they wanted my opinions.
Guys, just say
Okay,
yes.
so
Just
here we
write
go.
yes, yes if you want Rahul.
All right, my favorite brand for collecting,
Yeah,
100% is Carrera. I'm a Carrera fanboy inside out.
that
And
was
the
a
reason
surprise.
for that
Okay.
is because I know I've said this many times, is because they have officially licensed product. That's number one. And number two is they do a good job when they do their cars. They're heavy, they're monsters on the track, but they do such a good job. And the finishes on some of the Carrera cars today with the metallic printing and everything that they're doing to actually make those cars stand out, like the glow in the dark paint, it's really exciting. So for myself, and also they make GT3 cars, which is my favorite, segment of cars. So that puts Carrera at my number one in terms of collections. My favorite car to tinker with is a Scale car at 132nd. I love the R chassis. It's one of my, like, just the looks of it. Everything about this chassis screams performance. And as much as NSR is cool, I don't know. NSR can't hit stances on cars well because they use the same wheel and tires combination for all their cars, and it drives me nuts. So kind of like I love NSR, but I love Scale Auto more. So for me, Scale Auto cars are the Tinker cars, and followed closely by MR Slot Car because Ernie's local,
Yes.
and you can't get away from
Yes.
some of the stuff that he's doing. I really like his new the new chassis they've made for the brushless system. Did you see that?
Yes, I saw that. Yes.
Yeah. So I love Ernie for being innovative. He is pushing the envelopes. So yeah. So those are the two. I'm very clear with my brands right now. So yeah. I wish I drove more 124 scale. I just don't drive it enough. Because then I would buy more BRMs. But the fact is, I don't drive enough 124 to warrant the purchase of the BRMs. And as much as they tempt me, at least they have reverse slot to kind of balance that off. Because if there's an analog car that manufacturer that really like tickles my fancy, is reverse slots. Like the reverse slot cars are just amazing.
Same on my side, yeah. But Rahul, we've got a question in the chat from Andy and Ruben.
Yeah, this is a loaded one, but here we go. Question: what do you guys think of Scalextric? So I'm gonna let you answer first, and then I'll answer.
You just want to think of a good excuse? No, just kidding.
No, I'll answer.
There was a race series going on a long time ago with Scalextric's NASCARs. When Scalextric used to produce NASCARs, and they produced it in an inline version and a Sidewinder version. I loved to tinker on those cars. That was an easy fix with great behavior, fast cars. I really like that. I have to admit, I haven't looked much into Scalextrics lately, but they come up with really nice bodies. And Rahul just admitted, I want to cut this off now. Rahul admitted that he just bought the Batman car, or ordered the Batman car. And this is one that I'm looking into as well, to be honest. Yeah. So,
all right. So I'll take my turn. I grew up on Scalextric. So the first ever slot car I ever had was a Scalextric. My first track was Scalextric. So I have a lot of like old loyalty to the brand. Recently, I have been disappointed with some of the little things that they've done. Sorry, brought the car down. I have been disappointed with some of the little things that have gone wrong. But I think with any big company, there's always going to be some of those glitches. And I think it's the way you recover from them and the way you push forward that makes a difference. I think Scalextric is got a niche market that is very primed for what they produce. The movie car segment and their what I would call like their fan segment is huge, and there's nobody else who's competing against them in that segment, and they do really well at it. And I think they've started to introduce a lot more detail into some of their work as well. Like, if something that MP noticed was with the Formula Ones, how they've started to put more emphasis on the helmets and making them more realistic and bringing them up to par. So you can't fault them for that. I think all brands are doing the best that they can, and they're continuously improving. And I think Selectric is one of those brands as well. So as much as I was hard on them, I see change, and I see I see good things, because I've pre-ordered quite a few cars in the coming year from them as well, because they're cars that nobody else will do, and they've done it. So kudos to them, right? And so also in that regard is SCX as well. SCX is part of I've also got some cars coming up in the pipeline, which unfortunately we don't get in North America, but because of Pendle now, I've been able to see them, and it's cool to have, like, especially rally cars, because I grew up with rally. So
yeah, I think that's some Spanish thing.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Yeah. Let's see. I think I answered the questions.
Yep.
Yeah, fond memories, 100%. I have so many fond memories from Electric cars, especially my MG Metros. That was the first set that I ever got that was mine, and I must have driven those cars through the walls, because they were so wrecked by the time I was done with them. But they gave me so many hours of fun. So definitely, Electric will always have that history.
Drove to pieces. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Build my own. Okay, so this is interesting. Build your own 124 cars.
Exactly.
So here's the thing. I recently met a very, very prominent collector. He's very local to me. He builds 124 or 125, 125th scale drag cars. He does bracket racing every Sunday. He's a drag racer, a slot car drag racer, and he builds beautiful cars, phenomenal cars. So I am getting together with him and starting to learn about building, because it's not that I don't want to build. Like I said, I have very limited time when it comes to the hobby. And do I go and build a car, or do I take the cars that I already have, like hundreds of them in boxes that I haven't even opened, and put them on the track? It's almost a toss up for me. So it's really about management of time. I believe later on, as I continue to develop in this hobby, I will find the time to build a car, and I will be able to do it. I did my first white kit. I mean, that was kind of cool. I love airbrushing. I love painting. So as for myself, I think it would be a natural progression. I just don't know if I have it right now, but it is something that I've put together on my plan for next year, to at least do my first scratch build or 3 scratch builds next year. Now it's just a matter of finding the bodies. I want my first scratch build car to be a Mopar, a modern Mopar that I used to drive. So I've been looking for the body for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that chassis building is, it's quite common in the US. I know about that with the chassis, of where you solder your brass tubes, just like George with his set. I'm used to buying a chassis. That's the European way. It's just a difference, okay? I'm used to buy a chassis and tinker on it and improve it, versus soldering your own is just a different class to me. I got a set of parts to solder a drag car 1 to 24, because there's a shop in Las Vegas that sold kits to solder your own drag chassis, so to say. I still got that in the basement in pieces, and the description to it, I haven't started yet. I didn't dare to start, because that is really, I'm something, I don't know how to describe. This is one of the highest classes of slot racing to me, to solder your own chassis, solder it right. You need to be very precise. I don't know whether I have the ability, the time. I don't know about it. Okay, so that's why it's still in one corner. I know exactly where it is, but I haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah, I think when I started this year with my live streams, one of the first shows I did was your level of slot car hobby, right? Um, Actually, maybe we should bring that up here. Let me see if I can find it for a second.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that we're talking about it because it's interesting, and I think that we say that slot cars is forget it for now, but it's a journey, right? We're not in this to do everything yesterday. Yeah, right? This is just it's a journey that we're gonna enjoy for many years to come. I think that's what a hobby is, and I'm not in a rush to build my first scratch build car, right? Because I know there'll be a time when I will do it. I
Yeah.
know enough about it and I've seen enough, and I have a lot of good friends that will help me through it.
Yeah.
That's another great thing about the community. So for me to build my first scratch build car will be an accomplishment on its own right, but it's not something I need to do tomorrow
Right.
because when I was planning my like I've sat down and made my plan for 2024 already because that's just me. I'm a planner. And I know that for myself, I have this huge mandate to catalog 150 of my cars next year. And when I say catalog, means I put them all on my website, all filterable, all searchable, all history. So I love to do that because I believe in creating repositories of information. I think it's so cool, and that's something I'm really into. So for me, that takes precedence over building my own slot car.
Mhm.
And the second thing, and like I said, like something that I really like is I love Ken Block, and I
Oh yeah.
know Area 71 they've released the model kit. The reason
Yeah.
I didn't buy the model kit is the same reason that I love to buy finished cars is that I will never be able to do justice to that model kit to make it look like Ken Block's model. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I don't have the skill set. And as much as I love painting, I know I don't have the skill sets to make that car look the way it's supposed to look. So I'll
Mhm.
wait and get somebody to either somebody's going to build one for me. So I
Yeah.
was very lucky. I had a friend who put this car together. So this is a Challenger. It doesn't exist, or it didn't exist at the time when this was put together. It was put on a slotted
Yeah.
chassis, the adjustable chassis.
Yeah.
But somebody put this car together for me and gave it to me as a gift because they knew I love modern Mopar, and so somebody will do that, or I will find someone to do that for me with the Ken Block car. But that's another reason why I don't buy a lot of 3D kits because I'm not going to do them justice, and I'm all about collecting, not really racing. Like I said to you, I just don't have the time to do that. But I believe over time I will get there. And I'm not in a rush to get there right now. But like everyone has their journey. Like Slot R says next year he's gonna put the chassis together. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Your Slaughter already challenged me to build my chassis, bring it in May, and then we'll race on the drag strip.
Yeah, Slot R always
After
got some
T-Day.
challenges.
Yeah,
Um,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm more
You
concerned
know,
about what cameras I'm gonna bring over in May. Honestly, like that's my biggest concern. I'm like, oh, well, how am I gonna get data over there? What am I gonna bring? Like, those are the challenges I'm facing. I'm not even thinking about slot cars to pack in my bag. So yeah.
Dave, there's a story that a friend of mine had a slot car shop in Munich, okay? And he had one wall where there were only Carrera starter sets at the time. And he had a 4-lane track, and we used to do races there. And one Saturday we did a race there. The door opened, and the guy came in with a small baby in a trolley, put the trolley right in front of this wall of Carrera starter sets, leaned into the trolley to the baby, which was like 6 months old or something, and said to the baby, "Now, which starter set do you want?" Of course, the baby didn't respond or had any clue what was going on. So he said, "Okay, then daddy's going to decide." And he just went there and grabbed the biggest starter set that you could think of.
Yeah, well, wait till you use the baby as cover.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about. So here's
Well,
Andy and
yeah.
Ruben. We challenge you to race on the drag strip. So why does everyone challenge me? I've said it so many times. I am not a racer. I don't race. You can challenge me. I have no problem being the last man off the line. I have no problems with any of that. Ruben, you don't even have to try and fool me to win. Honestly, you can win. There's no problem. So funny. Yeah, you challenge Nico. Nico is the one who said he was up for a challenge. I'll be there I'll challenge myself to capture that race in slow motion. That's what I
You do the
challenge
filming,
myself.
Rahul.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do that. No problems.
You do the filming when I get my butt kicked, okay?
Exactly. I capture it from all angles, Nico.
Ruben, accepted. I'll be
yeah.
there.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. Nico will race in my stead, okay, Ruben? Yeah. So funny. Yeah, I'm excited for the trip next year.
So am I. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my bookings in January, so
Okay. Yeah,
we'll
just let
get
me
that
know.
over with, so I have it all sorted out.
Yeah.
But it should be exciting for sure. All right, let's see. What else do we have going on? What does chat want to talk about, if anything? Have we bored everyone to death?
They
Let's
all
see.
fell
DK
asleep
Moon
now.
says, too many good cars out there. I don't take the time to build a chassis. That's right.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
there's
Yeah.
so much new stuff coming out all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to catch up with, yeah, or to stay on track.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here's
Okay.
Nico, I bought
Okay.
my retro Grand Prix set yesterday for my dog. It's honestly, yeah. So funny. Ruben has accepted the challenge, Nico. There you go.
Good.
Yeah,
Good. I'll be there.
excellent.
I'll do my very best. I promise to be
Slaughter
there.
is not racing against Ruben. How interesting.
You learned your lesson, Dave, didn't you?
We have to get Pete to make an appearance. Pete on his own show? Yeah, he should make an appearance. Pete, where are you?
Right.
Laughing Rolls not a racer. We can pull 1.99 something tonight on the GRL track. Actually,
Yeah,
that's
they're
not the
watching you.
fastest,
They're watching you, Rahul.
By the way, I'll just give you an idea. So I built that Porsche, right? And I got 1.87 something or 1.9. But the DTM car that I have racing in the GRL on that same track did a 1.88. So you can imagine, like, that's not even an upgrade car. It's a stock car. I don't know what it's done. I think that engine's been broken in because I've run it before so many laps. But that thing is quick and planted. So, you never know. So, nah, it's just the cars, the fingers. I don't really do anything. I press the trigger. That's it.
I guess Pete already arrived at Gaydon because he's not replying anymore. Huh? What do you think? He's already hunting down cars.
Pete's already spending
on
his
his
money.
list.
Yeah, he's spending his
Right.
money already. Yeah, we'll hear all about it later for sure. Hopefully he buys a metal chassis because he's been breaking a lot of the plastic ones. So
So you did suggest a metal one for him. Okay, yeah,
I did.
fair
I
enough.
told him he should just switch to the Revo slot chassis or some what is it called? The HKS chassis? Which one is it? I don't remember what they call it. Yeah. So yeah, I think he should switch to that because every plastic chassis, he's built 3 cars in the past month and a half. I think out of those 3 cars, there's been 3 problems with the chassis. So 2 of them were broken, and 1 of them was warped. So I don't know. Yeah.
Jose is also looking at coming to Gaydon.
Yeah, Bull rent a van, sleep in the car park. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Dave mentioned he likes it because there's a nice bar there as well in the camping ground. So I guess that's the
Yeah.
main reason, isn't it, Dave?
I don't know. We'll figure this out in January, I guess. I'll figure out my
Yeah.
travel plans in. But yeah, I'm excited to do that and go down and buy cars. I'm bringing an extra suitcase just for cars. I think this is what I do when I go to
Yeah,
Spain.
well,
You know, when I go to Spain, it's
of course.
stupid because when I go there to see my family, last time I went, I think I brought 10 cars back, and I was like, oh, I should have just brought an extra suitcase because I left so many cars behind that I wanted. And you know what? I've not even opened half of the cars I brought. They're still sealed. That's how bad it is.
So we'll go and check out Career World together. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like I got to figure out some things. Yeah, let's we should talk about this more seriously, I think, in January.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really start to firm up everything so we don't leave it. I don't like to leave anything last minute. I have to also book the time off from work and stuff. So
Sure.
it's important for me to plan it all out. So I guess Slaughter is going to be camping in Banbury. Nice.
He
Oh.
he doesn't know yet, but he invited us on a Barbie over at his camping ground.
Yeah. We're self-inviting ourselves to Slaughter. He's going to
Exactly.
be like, nope.
Exactly. Surprise.
I don't know
Dave.
these guys. Who are these guys? I don't know them. Yeah.
Never seen them.
Yeah, we might be in the back of police cars by the end of it. I don't know those guys. Well, we all heard him invite you. Thanks to Fingers. You always got our backs. So, what else would you? Okay, Nico, I asked you a lot of questions. You're free to ask me questions. Whatever questions come to mind now. You can put me on the spot.
Okay. What car model would you like to see as a slot car? Besides the Viper that you already have in like 10 different variations, I guess.
Oh, let's see. Oh, there's a lot. It's like the list is endless. Right off the bat, I think the one car that I would like to see personally is the Challenger Red Eye, the wide body kit, something like that. You know, that's something that obviously is near and dear to me because that's a car that I actually owned and ran. So yeah, definitely one of those. But there's so many iconic cars that you can't really, you know, a 956 would be an awesome car to see more 1/32 scale slot cars because that is an iconic Porsche. So definitely one of those. I love the Ken Block Audi. That was that livery, that whole look, the e-tron, the Audi. I think that's a phenomenal car. That would be great to see in a 1/32 scale or even 1/24 scale. Yeah, so there's lots of cars that I can probably mention. I want to see the Supra GT3 wide body Supra that they used for GT3 racing. As you know, I love GT3 cars. I'd like to see more Bentleys from Scalextric from GT3. They released a couple of liveries before. I would like to see more liveries from the Bentley. One of my favorite GT3 race cars. It shouldn't be on the track, but it's there. But you know, it's kind of cool to see it, like the boats, but they move. So yeah, definitely a lot of cars.
Okay.
Let's see.
What do you? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Would you guys mind if I tagged along to Career World? I live in Germany. It shouldn't be too hard to meet up somewhere. I don't see why not. Don't see
Career World is just behind the border from Germany to Austria, so we will find a way.
Yeah, cool.
Dave says a Toyota Starlet KP60. Jesus. Well, the main color is brown, I guess, because the only thing I remember on those cars, they rust like hell.
Well, you know what? If they release the MG Metro, I'll buy it again because that's the first car I ever had from Scalextric. Right? That's a car that I'd buy it.
Well, Scale Auto released
The MG Metro.
Scale Auto released a Metro.
Oh yeah, I never saw it. I'll
They
look
did.
for it.
Yeah.
You know, the hard thing,
Yeah.
Nico, is that we don't get Scale Auto here, so I have to like find it and then ship it in, or like obviously Pendle, but Pendle doesn't carry the whole line either, so gonna have to find it. Yeah. I'm
Okay,
really
they-
looking
they
forward
just said
for
that-
the Ferrari LMP that just won last year. That would be a really hot buy, I think, as well.
Dave just mentioned that the KP60 was a classic hill climb, time attack and slalom car. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What type of tires do you like to run? Sillies, foam, rubber?
So we don't do a lot of foam here, Nico. We do on the wood track. So this car is set up for wood track racing. This is my Scale Auto, and it has foam tires. So a lot of the wood track cars that I have, they're set up with foam tires. And then when it comes to my own track, I use Paul Gage mostly, which is urethane tires. But I know silicones are better on Carrera track. They seem to grip better and hold better because I noticed that when we put some on and let the F1 cars go around. But you know, just because I have so many cars and most of them have Paul Gage, I'll stay with Paul Gage, which is urethane tires. So yeah, they're easier to true as well on my truing machine and stuff. So definitely Paul Gage or urethane tires.
Okay. Okay. Do you just take them out of the package and put them on and leave them like they are, or do you, I don't know, true them, prepare them?
No. I true them. Most of my so this is the thing, right? I have 500 cars, but I have 10 cars that are always race prepped. They are ready to go, and most of them are like my GT3 cars, and those cars have all been tuned. So like I put on the tires, I true them. They have new engines, or they have like I've done a couple of mods to them. Because obviously those are my race cars, so I do treat them. I do a lot of work on them. It's just something that I don't broadcast a lot because I'm not proficient at it. But I like to do it anyway. I've learned a lot by tuning my own cars. Even I have a lot of non-mag cars that most people don't realize that I do run. In fact, my favorite car to run right now is a GT1 from MR Slot Car, which is a non-mag car, and also my Scale Auto Viper. Those are my non-mag cars that I love to run, and I'll throw them on and love. I love drifting, and I love catching drifts in slow motion. So those cars always give me a good time. So yeah, those cars are all like always tuned and always prepped. But then a lot of cars, they come straight out of the box, and I don't prep them, right? Yeah.
How do you prep polyurethane tires? The reason why I'm asking is there's always a continuous big discussion going on. Have them grinded flat, have them grinded in an angle outwards, meaning that the outside diameter is smaller than the inside diameter, plus what's your idea on the edges, meaning
so I grind them flat, so I have the maximum tire patch onto the track, because that's how I was taught even to race 1-to-1 cars. But I always round the edges. That's so that you don't catch an edge and throw the car off, upset the car. The whole thing about, they always say, even in modern racing, is smooth is fast, right? So the smoother you are, the faster you are. So I keep that in the slot car world. I want my car to be smooth. I pay a lot of attention. So a lot of the reason why I started shooting in slow motion was to look at how my car is reacting on the track. So I remember the first time I shot slow motion, I saw my car vibrating on the track. I knew something was wrong. And I never paid attention to it until I saw it in slow motion. And when I did, then I realized, okay, there's something wrong with the guide. And I realized that, especially with the Scale Autos, is when you remove the magnet, the little spring at the front of the guide causes the car to hop because this has no downforce. So I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. Then I shot in slow motion. I saw it hopping, and I was like, "What's going on?" And then I realized that you have to remove that little spring that's in the front of the guide in order for the car
Yeah.
to stay planted without the magnet. So small things like that. I really love slow motion because it tells me a lot about the car. And I shoot on a single car. I shoot it through all the corners of my track. I shoot in slow motion through all the corners of my track, so I can actually watch back. So as much as slow motion is cool, it's for functional reason as well for myself, because I don't get to see it in reality when it's
Yeah.
running sometimes. Yeah.
I'll give you something to think about.
Okay.
If you do the rear tires in an angle, meaning the outside diameter is slightly smaller than the inside.
Yeah.
If the car drives into a corner, it will leave to the outside. It will lean, to the outside.
Yeah.
Which means if you have it flat and it leans to the outside, it will only be a small strip of tire that touches the track on the outside. Versus you have them in an angle, it will have the full width of tire on the outside for grip.
Yeah, and also I know conical tires will keep it straighter as well as it comes through the corner. It won't lean; it stays more planted. I understand that whole concept because we used to do camber on our race cars as well, right? It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, except we're using camber. So I understand that a lot. I just, like I said, if I was racing competitively on a weekly basis, I would take my skills of tuning to the next level.
Okay.
Because I am very competitive by nature. Like it's my nature to be competitive, and I look for any opportunity to become better. But because I'm not, for myself, it's easy to just go. I understand having a flat tire patch, understand all that. Yeah, if I was to get into more serious racing, 100%, I think I would actually take more my tuning a lot more seriously, I think. Yeah.
Although Dave thinks that sideways is more fun, so.
Yeah, and I love it too. I love shooting cars in drift. I think they're really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's the coolest thing, but it's not fast for sure. Cars drifting, you're losing time. So, yeah.
Yeah, want to be cool or want to be fast? It's either or.
Exactly. Yeah. Always though. The drift guys always get the chicks though, don't they? That's what they say, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Rob Sales here.
Hey, they're nearly there.
Hey guys, nearly again. Just stop for a quick loo break. Great stream today. Thank you, Rob.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Rob.
it. Trying to hold the fort down. Well, we're waiting for the boss to jump on and say, "You're doing a bad job, Track Fans.
Quit YouTube. Get out of there.
Yeah.
Get out of my channel."
Is that all the questions you have for me, Nico? Am I off
for
the
the
hook?
moment? For the moment, it's all I can think of. Yeah, you caught me. You caught me. I didn't expect that because usually you're the one to ask the questions. Now you really got me on the wrong spot there. But
yeah, very few people ask me any questions.
Right. Is there? What do you prefer on motor-wise, or inline, angle winder, sidewinder?
Depends on the car.
Okay.
For myself, it depends on the length and the width of the car. It changes my perspective on things. For shorter wheelbase, I would prefer inline, if not side. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the side mount motor. I find that the car is a very imbalanced that way.
Okay.
Or at least I find that my driving style doesn't blend itself well to that. I prefer inline motors for the shorter wheelbase, but on the longer wheelbase, like my LMP cars or things that are slightly longer, I like a sidewinder for some reason. Yeah, I like long can motors for my larger wheelbase cars. So I like short cans for my inlines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. RPMs.
Oh, don't ask me that question. So this is the thing, right?
You said I should ask questions.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You can ask the question. For myself, because okay, on a racing perspective, I wouldn't have an answer for you because I don't really race that much. But for me, every time I look at a car, I think what engine would that car need to have? So for my Vipers, a lot of my tuned, like I have cars that I've tuned and put back in the box. And why did I tune them? So I have a Viper that has a 75K motor. And then I have another Viper with a 50K motor, right? They're all tuned Vipers that are metal chassis, 50K motors, no mags, and put back in the box. And the reason for that is they're Vipers. They're supposed to have big engines, right? So that's how I look at cars. I don't look at cars. I look at them, and if I want to put a big engine in the car, I put a big engine. I like 21.5K motors a lot. So, or the 25 ball bearing motors with that you get, the candy colored ones. Once again, sometimes the looks too. NSR motors are great. Like the long cans are great. But I have a variety of motors. I have ranging. My slowest motor is an 18.5, which is in my Porsche GT1, which is non-mag, which I love to drive. It's so smooth. It's a lot of fun to drive. Obviously, my standard preferred gearing is 927, but I've changed gearing up a bit or down depending on the car. When I want more speed, like in my Vipers, I have more speed gearing ratios for that. That's how I treat my cars. My cars are treated the way I would want them to be in real life. So if the car's got a big engine in real life, I have a big engine in that car normally.
As I knew the story of the Viper, I did expect the answer to go that way.
That's right. Yeah.
Looks or speed? I know the answer, but still.
Looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, always for me. Yeah, so there's a question here from Latvia. Let's see. Well, you sometimes race with some of our fellow YouTubers. How far do you travel to go? So honestly, I would travel around the world to race. Because when I when I used to do wargaming, I traveled all over the world to play. I played in the World Championships in Czech Republic. I played in many places around the world, a lot of the US cities, and I used to travel for the weekend. So fly in on a Friday and leave on a Monday. And I used to do that all the time. So I would do the same for slot cars. If there was big events and a lot of my and the thing about it was I always went where my friends were going. So we traveled in groups. So there is no ends to where I travel to race if people are getting together. And I've always said, like, that's why I travel to the UK Fest, right? There's no reason for me to come. I want to go to the UK Festival. So that's why I'm traveling to Europe to do that. Yeah. So hopefully that answers the question there.
Unfortunately, I know exactly what you mean, because when we were driving the European things in 24-hour races, it was exactly the same. Go there on Friday. You had the best sleep from Sunday to Monday, because being up for 36 hours without sleep, man, this is the best sleep you can think of, and then go home on Monday.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Nico, but I used to work in the automotive performance field for a very long time. So I don't know if you know about the SEMA show. It happens in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
So I've been to SEMA show 8 years in a row. So I used to run a booth, but I knew so many people by the time, like, as years went by. By my 7th year, I remember my 7th year going down to SEMA. I was there for a week. I flew in on the Saturday night, and it always happens for it to be Halloween weekend. So I flew in on a Saturday, and we're flying back out on the following Saturday. And I think that 1 week I only got 10 hours of sleep total.
Oh, man.
Right? Because I was working the booth every morning at 7 a.m., but I would go to all the after parties every night. So I was so hopped up on Red Bull and oxygen. You know how they pump the hotels with oxygen. So I was up for 10. I think I slept maximum 10 hours the whole week. But yeah, that's the extreme that you go to. You know, like that's it's like anything. Like when I was wargaming, when I went out, that weekend was a blowout because you go there to have fun. And I love that whole feeling about going there, forgetting all your day to days and just having a blast with your friends. And it really recharges you for the next one, and it motivates you to do more. Right. So for myself, that's what really keeps me going in a hobby. Yeah.
I think the fingers is referring to Red Bull. The fingers, you need to know one thing. I live in Red Bull hometown. Okay. This is where the headquarters is. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not on steroids. We're on Red Bull in this area. No, just kidding.
Yeah. Well, you only live once, the finger, so I have no regrets. None. Well,
so sorry. No,
let's see. Anybody else have any more questions for us? Or Nico, do you have any more questions?
For Rahul. Keep asking Rahul. Come on, bash him with questions.
Bash me with questions. Most of these people know me. Hey, Mark Patch entered our chat here, and we didn't say hi. Good morning.
Sorry,
how are you? Yeah, nice to see you. Thanks for being here.
Okay, they're not listening to us anymore. Anyway, they're talking about home improvement and things like that.
Home improvement. Tea, guys, lots of tea. I don't think at that point I was looking for tea. It was just Red Bull. You know, at some points, because the booth slows down. When you're sitting at a booth at SEMA, it's not always busy. At those times when the booth will slow down and you're like, I just want to fall asleep right here. I remember those days. And then I'm like, I have to go to bed tonight. I'm not going out. And as soon as I finish the show, somebody called me, hey, you want to go to this mansion party? I'm like, sure, let's go. Like, you have no choice. Just go.
Yeah. Sounds like great fun to me.
Hey, look, here it is. Pete's checking in. Here we are, legends. We are here. There we go. Pete, better do some good shopping.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. You want to say hi, Pete? You can join in, say hi. You can say hi on your own show. How about that?
Give it a try, Pete.
Yeah, try it out. All over. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess he's distracted now.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
It will be like us next year. The good thing is I have a 360 camera. I'll just let it broadcast and go nuts, and I'll just walk.
Go shopping.
Yeah, that's it. I'll just have it on my pole, put it on my backpack, and let it do its thing.
Hey, Massimo. Massimo just joined in.
What? What are you doing up? Can't you keep it down? Shut up, man. You're not allowed to sleep. There's not a sleeping time. You should be on here with us.
Hey. Massimo, it's actually my age that needs less sleep, okay? Not your age.
Yeah. Just came back from a party. I knew it. Yeah, that's what he's been doing.
Yeah, sounds like.
Yeah.
I guess he had too many Red Bulls as well, so.
Always. Actually, I don't like Red Bull at all. It was just the worst taste that you can put in your mouth. So stay up. Sorry, I prefer Monster, to be honest. Too.
100% agreed. But I can't say this loud out of my outside.
We gotta help Rob out.
Being in hometown of Red Bull.
All right, chat. We've been called into action. Just got the Gaydon Fellows. Can you suggest a car to look for today? Send the link.
Scalextric Batman. Rob, I would go for the Skeletrix Batman car. Well, from the taste, anything is better than Red Bull, so maybe Monster. I never tried it.
All right, I gotta send Pete a link here.
I think Rahul is just trying to send the link via WhatsApp to Pete, so he can join in.
Give me 1 second here, guys,
to see whether this works out, that he can join his own show.
Let's see. Send it. I send it to you, Pete.
Sort of fingers. I also like it. It's okay.
Rob. So Slot Hour wants you to find him a Revo slot RS0063 911 test livery, green with Warsteiner. Oh, I don't even have that car. I have so many Porsches from Scale Auto, but I don't have that car, I don't think. I want to get the new Fastbender one. Yeah, Fastbender. The yellow one. Nobody has that car. So why are you asking for something that nobody has? Oh, look at this. We got to add him. Look at this guy. Hey. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hey guys.
That's right. We're online.
We just got a new job.
Welcome to your own show, Pete.
There's Ian as well.
What's up, Ian?
Ian's gone to
You're doing a great show, Pete.
Yeah.
Something about conditions. You're doing a great job.
Are we? Are you sure? That's
We just got
there you go. Let's make you nice and big, Pete. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah.
There you go.
So, Pete, should I send you my shopping list now?
Yeah, do look. I found
empty slot there where we've just brought those.
Yeah, anything on this?
Don't show it to Dave. Too many Revo slots.
Yeah, don't show Dave that. Dave's going through withdrawals. You're going to cause Dave to go into seizures here.
It's a meltdown.
Yeah, he's probably melting down right away. Oh, poor man. He's...
You need a drink? Oh, you got
a coffee mouth.
Yeah. What? I'm not gonna say anything. This is your show.
Is it my Wi-Fi now that's dying down? Or
guys, you've done well. You've done good. We've been listening on and off in the car where we've had some signal, but it's been all right.
Okay.
Well done. Thank you.
Oh.
So how's it been for you guys? It's been busy.
Always busy.
Always busy. You know.
Nico's been asking me.
Asking questions.
I was going to say, Nico's been asking me.
Amazing. Right, I'm going to have to get into this.
All
so
right.
I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you very much, guys. You've done a sterling job. And when you need cover, I'm there for you.
Yeah, for sure. No problem, man.
All right. So you remove me from the screen so I don't kill off the whole stream. That'll be sound.
Yeah, I'll remove you now. Bye, Pete.
Right.
See ya, Pete.
See you, boys.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I guess we've done more than 1 hour and 40 minutes, man.
Oh,
this is longer than Pete used to do. No, just kidding.
Yeah, so let's start to wrap this up. If you guys got, we'll give it another 2 minutes here, but if you guys got something to talk about or you have any questions, give us a shout right now. Otherwise, in about 2 minutes, we're going to wrap it up. Say good night for myself. Good morning for you guys.
Oh, yes.
It is 4:15 in the morning for me, so
Jesus.
Yeah, it's about Yeah, that's all right. It's all good. I do this every weekend. That's become part of my.
I guess everybody's blown away now that they saw Pete. Okay.
Yeah, they're like, that's enough of you guys. You guys chop liver. Let's move on. Where's Pete? Where's Pete when we need him? But anyway, Nico, it was great. This was a great session. Thank you very much for being, for actually initiating this, because
yes.
Nico did initiate this. Thank you for initiating it. Thanks for Pete for letting us do this. I really appreciate it. And yeah, exactly. The fingers.
It was a blast as always. It was a blast as always, Rahul. Thank you very much. Thanks for making it possible for the non-techie like me.
Non-techie.
And
yeah, I think you have
it's
more
like
tech than that,
schematic, non-schematic, isn't it?
Exactly. That's what it is. Yeah. Bo says you should let me take a nap and you should continue this live stream. I agree, Bo. Should I sign off now? I'm gonna sign off now.
I have a private life.
Bo's had enough of me. He's like, get roll off that thing.
I don't think so, Rahul. No. I don't think so.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Pete normally would say, go check out Slotcom magazine. Don't forget about Slotcom Fest next year. Give a shout out to all the young guys that are out there and keep on slotting. I'm gonna say it's great to be part of Pete's live stream. It's great having a chat with Nico. It's great to have the community rally around us. Thank you so much, guys. It means a lot to us. And thank you all for being here. And we're gonna wrap it up now and bid you all a farewell. And Pete, happy hunting today. And anyone who's at Gaydon today, have a good time. Enjoy the show, and we look forward to all the videos that should be coming out. And until next time, I want to say goodbye. And Nico,
see you around, Track fans.
That's right, Track fans. We'll see you later. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.
See you later. Thanks for having us. Bye.